Let's consider now the cycle of productivity and the progressive utilization of world resources and human potential. The political ray of human activity achieves the integration of cultural wealth toward a basis for new economic development and collective progress. We can think of this political ray as like a new plant which pushes down a root and shoots up a leaf. Now, the root that is pushed down is the common ownership of the means of production. Without this common ownership of the means of production, then you will get inequity, disparity, and poverty, which makes impossible collective progress. So the root of the political ray of human activity is common ownership of the means of production. Now, the leaf, which shoots up, is common stakeholding in community organizations, and we will see in the next section what that may look like. For instance, we can think of the air and sun that promotes this common stakeholding in community organizations. For example, the air is the equal access to public resources. This equal access to public resources is what builds the social structures. And the equal access to education and information, which is the sun, which provides the social energy that allows these social structures to lead to or promote collective progress. Now let's consider the cultural ray of human activity, which achieves the emergence of new means. We can think of this emergence of new means as depending on the blossom and the fruit. Now, the blossom is the provision for self-determination. Each member of the society must be able to have the self-determination to express its creative cultural interests in freedom. Now, given that the self-determination is promoted and supported by the common ownership of the means of production and the common stakeholding in community organizations, then there will be an impulse to share the fruits of that cultural creativity, art, discovery, and invention. Now, this creative expression is nurtured or ripened by the sun, just like the fruit of the plant. And two things are necessary for this ripening of the cultural fruits. Leisure capital, of course, which means that members of the society, through economic progress, collective economic progress, acquire leisure capital that gives them the opportunity for their creative endeavors. And then through the common ownership of the means of production and stakeholding in community organizations, there is the effort toward a maximum and balanced utility of the human potentials that express creatively and produce the cultural wealth. Finally, let's look at the economic ray of human activity which achieves productive development. This productive development is the emergence of the seed, seedling, and reemergence of the new plant. Now, the seed of this productive development and collective progress is equity in economic opportunity. Now, we will see below what is the soil and water from which these three, the seedling, the new plant, emerge. But the seed itself, we can say, is the equity in economic opportunity. The seedling, which emerges from the soil, is the evolution of the means of production and the conservation of natural resources. What this means is that we expect through cultural creativity and expression that the means of production will evolve to be more ready to provide for the collective progress. And that collective progress is also dependent on the continuing conservation of our natural resources. And then the emergent new plant depends on the growth of leisure capital. Without leisure capital, the new creative inspiration will not manifest, and society will become stagnant without the growth of leisure capital. It is one of the primary benefits of productive development. Now, of course, as we said, we need soil and water to plant these seeds and seedlings and new plants and from which they can emerge. And so, as we talked about in equity and economic opportunity, we need affirmative access to natural resources and the means of production, in spite of whatever the circumstances the individual might find themselves in. We need to provide access to individuals who are inspired toward productive enterprise. And the water, which gives vitality to the productive development and collective progress, is the individual benefit from such economic enterprise that is proportionate to the public benefit.
Now, as already articulated, the economic array of human activity depends on the linking sentiment of fraternity. Without this linking sentiment of fraternity, equity, conservation, and growth will not be of value of the community, and therefore collective progress in the economic array of human activity will not be promoted. So the linking sentiment of fraternity is vital to strengthening the economic human array in such a way that productive development is collective development.